Let's look at the game differently now. This is Keep It a Buck with Matt Bucknor on the Ticats Audio Network.
Hey, yo, Ticat fans, excited to launch our Keep It a Buck show. And this show here, it's all about the players. We're going to be getting to know the players, and what we want the players to do is when they're answering some of these questions, we want them to keep it a buck. And I'm really excited to have one of our Hamilton's finest with us today. And he goes by the name of Tyler Ternowski. Yes, Tyler, appreciate you coming today, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Man, great.
Of course.
All right, so T, you were born, raised here in the Hammer.
Yes, sir.
Right? All right, so talk to us about that. You grew up here in the city. What was that like for you, man?
Man, it was different. I actually started out, I was born at St. Joe's Hospital, kind of like west downtown.
Yep.
And then my first 5 years I was in Cayuga, Ontario, which is a small town, probably 50 minutes from here.
How many people in that city?
Village. There's 1,700.
Yeah.
So it's a village for sure. But I moved here when I was in grade 2. And then, it was a big culture shock for me, right? Small town kid, early 2000s, coming to a big city.
Yeah.
It was very different for me. And the thing that got me, a lot of friends and, started relationships was, sports and stuff, right?
Yeah.
A lot of kids, my first time at Vern Ames, I remember getting asked by the older kids to come out and play soccer.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my, introduction to Hamilton, a bunch of different cultures, a lot of diversity that I just, was never used to growing up in Cayuga, right? And then, from there it was just learning the grittiness of the city, where I keep saying, Cayuga is small, quaint, everyone knows each other, everyone's friends. And you get to Hamilton, it's a tough city, right? You know what I mean? It's different. So it took me a little bit to kind of feel it out, but once I started having those relationships and finding my not role, but kind of my space and the community that I wanted to be involved in. It was easy.
So you're an athlete, obviously. You said you played sports, played soccer. When was it that you got into football?
I was 9.
Okay.
I think I was 9 when I was introduced to football.
Yeah.
My old stepdad, he was a huge Colts fan, so we'd always be watching the Colts.
Manning?
Manning, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, freaking Joseph Adai, Jeff Saturday.
Right.
That's just the offense. You had Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis. Yeah, they were nasty ballers. But so I was I'd say I was about 9 when I first kind of had a football in my hands, and I was probably 7 or 8 when I first started kind of watching it, not really understanding, but kind of watching. And then in grade 4, I had a guy, I forget his last name, oh my gosh. His name was Kyle, though. He was a grade 8 at Lawfield. And he saw the athlete I was, and he just came up to me. He played HMFA back in the day when we used to have a house league in Hamilton.
Yeah.
And he brought me the pamphlet and everything. He's like, hey, I think you'd like this. I think you'd be really good at it. And I knew of football already from my old stepdad, so I just kind of was like, I'll take it home, and showed them, my mom and him at the time, and we just kind of took it from there. I played for the East Mountain Ticats, and from there it was history. I was like, oh yeah, this is it.
So you knew right away, you touch the football, get on the football field, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I started my first practice, because in HMFA we would practice for 2 months before we'd actually play.
Yeah.
So the whole summer was just a bunch of practicing. So the first practice, this is how my grandma says the story, is I was at corner playing pee-wee football. You're at corner, you're just on the field.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I was playing corner, and by the end of the practice, I was middle linebacker.
Okay, banger.
So I was right away. So my first year playing ball, I played defense. I played middle linebacker. And I just loved it. I loved it. I loved the aggression. I loved the contact. I just loved everything about football, right? I could go out there, run through a face, and just get up and not have any kind of punishment for it either.
See, that's the way you play the ball right now too. You love that contact. You do the same thing on special teams.
Right.
You went to McNabb.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is before you go pro. All these things, right? So you're at McNabb, and you're not only playing football there. What other sports are you playing?
I played volleyball, basketball, track and field, soccer, indoor track. Man, I was everything. I did everything.
Multi-sport athlete.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to tell these kids, man. Play everything. Stop specifying so early.
Why is that?
Right, you gotta build your just your base, right?
Yeah.
As a football player, I think that there's so many aspects of so many different sports that go into football that made me great at football, right? Like when I first started like athletics, I'd say I did gymnastics. Like when I was, I think 3 to 5, I did gymnastics. And that's just teaching like body control. Like that's the one thing I would tell every parent, if you want your kid to like be an athlete early, gymnastics.
That's my biggest regret,
right?
Is not getting involved in gymnastics.
Right? Like it's just like I did trampoline, like something fun, but something that like I could go out, have a lot of fun doing with like subconsciously learning my body at such a young age, but they're not even like realizing it, right? And the balance was like the biggest thing for me. Like especially that I would see in like other kids that I'd play against, especially like when I started elementary sports, and I just saw how far ahead I was ahead of everybody at that point already, just in like body control, right? Like there might have been better athletes, like more gifted athletes, but they just didn't know how to control it yet, right? And that was like kind of the biggest thing that stood out to me. Was like, oh, like if I put in this preparation, like before all these kids start doing it, like I'm gonna be leaps and bounds ahead of them when I get to that spot that I want to be, right? So that's kind of what I took into high school, right? In elementary school, like like in high school, like I did swimming, I was in like multiple different clubs, like just trying, not a social butterfly I'd say, but like more of like a lot of teachers asked me to do stuff because they knew like I was competitive and that I would want to bring like other people with me, right? Like especially in elementary school, I had a bunch of like good friends in elementary school that played all these sports with me, right? So it was just like a big group of us, and like we just built that community stuff. And then going to McNabb, I was like going from East End to West End. You know what I mean? Like it's different, right?
That's a change.
And so like I went to McNabb because they had the like football specific like gym classes. But I had to say I was going for AP math at the time, which like I was pretty good at math like in elementary school, but that was easy back then. And then I got to McNabb, and AP math is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I decided to do a year of that and then switch out of it, and then I was just in McNabb. But yeah, it was different going from like knowing everybody and being like kind of like the not popular kid, but like the athlete of like Lawfield.
You're the man.
You know what I mean?
You can say that.
Like just being kind of like a guy at Lawfield elementary school, and then going to a place that I do not know anybody. The city, like Hamilton, going from Cayuga, a town where like I knew everybody in my elementary school, everyone in the high school. I come from Lawfield to McNabb, and it's like I don't know. I've never heard of any of these people before. I've never met any of these people before. So it's like not starting again from like ground zero, like how I did like coming in from Cayuga to Hamilton. But it was I kind of took that same mentality of like, all right, like I know I'm an athlete, so I'm just gonna go do a bunch of these things and I'll find that community again, right? So it was kind of the same process for that. But yeah.
So now you're at McNabb, you're balling at McNabb, you're playing all these sports, then you end up honing in on football, right? And then from there you go from McNabb, you make your decision and you go to Waterloo, right? So now Waterloo, you're putting on the black and gold there too. But what's that transition like? So you talked about the kids listening and you want to talk to the kids. So the kids listening, what's the transition like going from high school to university?
I would say athletically, like if you're going to university to play football from high school, like you were probably one of the best on your team, if not like in the league, right? If you're going to play in the OUA from like Hamilton, like you were a good player at some like during high school. So it's like you got to take that mentality of like I know the player I am, but you also got to go in there and be like, I know what I have to walk into. I'm walking into a bunch of you all were all the best players on your team. So now it's like again stacking it up and like not being a guy that comes in there like all cocky. Because I knew guys, like I'm not even gonna say their name, but like I knew guys in Waterloo that like came in thinking they were the guy, and just like didn't take it serious, right? Like didn't compete like as hard as like other guys that knew they were a guy but didn't like come out and say it, or weren't as like not confident but like as cocky and outgoing saying that kind of stuff. And it kind of just showed in like their careers, like how it plays out. So I think it's more of like, knowing you're the guy coming out of like high school and like being confident in your abilities, but also being confident enough to like just listen, right? Like just go. Like when I went to Waterloo, they weren't great, right? They were coming off an 0-8 season, I think like back-to-back 0-8 seasons, and then I go there and we have an 0-8 season. But like when I went there, I knew when I made my decision, it was kind of easy because it was my only offer.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like,
Mac didn't holler at you?
Nah, well, Mac was a crazy story. Mac was wild. Like their receiver coach, Coach Al, at the time, he was all over me. He loved me. I thought I was going to Mac. Like,
right.
And at McNabb, I had 3 mentors that all went to Mac. Okay. Jimmy Hill, Zach Ishmael, and Ben Daglar.
Okay.
Remember the name Ben? You know Ben? Yeah, right? Like, so like they took me under their wing and like had me, and that was kind of like the mentorship that I really needed in high school. Like they got me to the gym, started like showing me the way of like, hey, this, if you want to play the way, this is like what we did, this is what like you're gonna have to do. Right, so we just kind of started doing that, and then that transition to university was a lot like easier with those guys, like with the knowledge that they told me, like what to expect, what to look for in like certain people, what to look for like in certain coaches, like in that process. But before even I got an offer to Waterloo, I played Ironman for a year, and just like was tearing it up. 3 games, I had like 700 yards, like 7 touchdowns. Like
how many games?
3. Like it was ridiculous. The one game against London Junior Mustangs, I think I had like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Out there, what's going on?
It was crazy. It was a wild game. But like I was getting calls from everywhere, like all over the country. Teams calling me, and I broke my kneecap in like the 5th game, and no one talked to me anymore. And then back to that Mac. So I'm talking to Mac. I'm like, all right, all these people dropped me. Like I'm gonna go to Mac. Like they're good, we're good. Like the receiver coach loves me. I know Potasic. So like it's all good. And then I was going in with my mom one day and to fully sign. Like I was completely certain that they were gonna offer me like a scholarship. Get into the meeting. Al standing behind Potasic. Potasic sitting at the desk. He's like, hey, like we like you, but like we're gonna offer you like a walk-on. I looked at Al. I'm like, what? Because you were saying like 45, like max. Like bro, like what are we talking about? And I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. Like I'm gonna see what else is out there. And then like 2 weeks later, my high school quarterback, Ethan Belbeck, committed to Waterloo. So I'm like, all right. Like I could see that being a spot. And then they still hadn't talked to me. And then like a week later, Belbeck was talking me up, and they came in and offered me. They said 35. If you start, we'll give you the max. And week 2 started, and kind of never looked back from there.
So you go to Waterloo. You're balling out at Waterloo, doing your thing. You bet on yourself first of all. That's a big one too. And now you're going from Waterloo, and you end up going through the CFL draft process.
So that's the crazy thing. COVID happened for me, right? Okay. Like, so it was like I had no combine. Did all this combine prep, and I'm not gonna lie to you. If I had that combine, I don't even think I was gonna be ready. Like the training, I was training with a guy out in Waterloo, and he's a phenomenal trainer. Like nothing against him, but just like not my type of training. Right. And my body was just messed up. Like if I had that combine, I don't even know if I would have got drafted. Like my film is what like my biggest talking point was like I just needed my film. You watch my film, you know I can play ball. And so I'm at the regional combine watching my like Waterloo teammates participate in the regional because of the nationals the next week. We're at the regional. Agent comes up to me, Fred comes up to me, and he's just, hey, it's done. They're canceled. Everything's done. Like they're shutting it down. And so I never really had like that combine experience. The only draft experience I really had was like the interviews. And so it was just all on Zoom interviews. It was a cool experience to like talk to all these coaches and like kind of get like, oh, like you do pay attention. Like you're asking me these questions I didn't think you were gonna ask me. Like all these like little things. Which was like kind of like, oh shit, like it's real. Like they're not just asking or like looking at my film. They want to know like what kind of person I am, like to bring into this organization. And especially when I got here, I found that was the biggest thing, like the people you bring in. Like there's a lot of great football players, but like football is not a good, it's about the people. Like if you have a great locker room like we do, like everyone's friends, like how our locker room's like an open concept where like you have different position groups sitting beside each other, different opposite sides of the ball sitting beside each other. Like all these guys having connections that I know like other places don't have, right? Just from like hearing it from other guys that have come from other teams and everything. So yeah, I would say like that was like the coolest part of my draft process was learning like, oh, like this is like It isn't just about like what you can do on the field. It's about what you can bring as a person to like a whole organization, right?
So now, like, what's the biggest? So you look back at, you know, you kind of just took us on a little journey there from grade school, high school, university, and now if you look back at all your stages, if you were to change, if you could change one thing, one or maybe a handful of things that you could do better, what do you think it would be?
In university, I'll start uni.
Yeah.
In university, if I'm being completely honest, I was, you know, like in high school, I was like one of the best, right? Like I was, like I knew I was one of the best. I went to camps in the States, and I was always like talking to coaches, and I knew I was one of the best. So I thought, like, during Waterloo, I knew it was after my third year in Waterloo, I kind of almost took it for granted, like the competition of it, because I was like broke a ton of records, like just it was so easy to me, right? Like, and I took that for granted because in that off season and like going into my senior year, like, it was like, what do I need to change? You know what I mean? Like I just put up 1,300 yards in 8 games and 16 touchdowns. Like, what do I need to really do? Right? You know what I mean? And kind of got that like cockiness that I never really had before. And I think that's like kind of what messed me up in the like draft process. Was like I came in my senior year, I was still in like good shape. Like I've always just been like kind of a athlete like that, just like been able to go out there. But that was the thing that like kind of like hurt me, right? Like just being able to do that against that competition. And that's like the biggest thing when I came here and I see like NFL vets like Devere Posey, my rookie year is out here after practice like catching balls, and I'm thinking like damn, like I remember doing an interview in my rookie year and be like, that was like the biggest thing, like being able to like see the work that these guys are putting in, like after no coaches are around, like no one's watching, and they're out there. Like I'm sitting up in the caretaker's lounge having lunch and looking down, these guys are still on the field, like 5 of them just following Posey, and I'm like, man, like I need to start like taking this shit kind of serious, right? Like, what the, like, it's a game, but like it's real. Like people are feeding their families with this. So it's like, so that's when I kind of took the transition of like something I wish I would change in Waterloo was like, man, like if I really put in work in that, like had that third year and didn't get like the, like I'm good. Like I'm complacent where I am being the best, where I should have like made that drive me like a lot more, to be honest. Cause now it's like, in 24 when I came back from shoulder surgery and I had like the best year I've had on teams, go out there, and then I took that and I was like, hey, I know I can be one of the best players in this league, and I showed it this year, and I'm just gonna take that and I'm gonna work, and then the next year come back and I had more production. So I know that just shows me that, man, like if I put that extra work in uni, like am I playing at Waterloo, like am I going back to Waterloo my 5th year, am I going to D1 in my 5th year, because I was at kind of at the time where people were trying kind of transferring to like D1, and so I was talking to like the Cardinals, I was talking to the Colts, I was talking to the Chiefs, and they were just like, we want combine, and then the combine never happened, and that kind of like COVID just happened, life happens, right? And they can't do nothing about that, but I'm just thinking like, man, like that's the one thing I wish, like I regret to this day, like going back, like just putting like the time in the weight room. Like I was always like kind of a built guy, but like not to the extent that I should have been, especially at Waterloo, right? And then just being like that, like visual leader, not just like a vocal guy in the locker room, right? Like having the guys like see me in the weight room when no one else is in there, right? And that's what I've kind of like brought here, right? Like I come in, like I leave my house 5:30 in the morning, I come get my lift in, and you know, you see the same guys in every day, right? Like, and that's kind of, not that I trust those guys more, but like just like I know those guys have my back. Like a guy like Stav, like who's been in there with me for the last 3 years in the morning grinding, right? Like he's highest paid free safety in the league, and he's in this building early every morning grinding, like getting better. And it just shows me like, man, like look back on it, like I regret it for sure. But I think it also like showed me like it was like a lesson, like God like gave me a lesson that wasn't gonna like really like hurt me, but show me like, hey, you got to do this, right? So.
Talk to me about, so you grew up here. This is your city, right?
Yes, sir.
What are some of your go-to spots here in the city?
I grew up with we had a dog named Colt.
Yeah.
And so we were a big like outdoors family growing up, right? So like Hamilton, you talked about trails, walking trails, waterfalls. Like those are my kind of like go-to spots when I'm in Hamilton, right?
Outdoors.
Like Albion Falls, Tiffany Falls, the Gorge, Devil's Punch Bowl.
Okay.
Like hiking, all that stuff. So I was a big hiker, geocacher. I don't know if you ever.
No, I've never been there.
Geocaching's like it's like on a GPS. And we used to have this massive GPS back in the day. And we would just punch in a location, punch in a coordinates, and just kind of like hike through these like forests, right? Like go to Albion, there's a ton. It's like treasure hunting when I was a kid, right? So we did a lot of that when I like with my family and stuff when I was growing up. But now when I'm older, more spots is a lot of food spots, right? A lot of food spots like King William, James Street. Like I'll eat anywhere. Yeah, no, Lulu Shawarma, they take care of us, especially like now that I'm playing for the Cats. I'd never been there before, and Dylan Wynn. Loved that place. They love him, Big Dog, man. He loved that shawarma, and he took me one time, and they're awesome. Right? Like so, I always like to go in there, show my love, show my support, because that's all they do for us, right?
Yeah. A couple more like lighthearted questions for you, man. So, playlist that you're listening to, you got workout. You talk about 5:30 workouts. What are you listening to on the playlist right now?
Those early morning workouts and big booty mixes. It's crazy. It goes crazy. I'm telling you. That's all we listen to. That's all we listen to in the morning.
All right. So what's a couple of tracks? Give me a couple of tracks that are off there.
It's all like remixes. It's just like house, like every popular song just remixed in a vibe, right? Like it's 6 in the morning. We're just trying to get some big energy in there, big energy, right? Like we start dancing in there, that kind of stuff.
All right.
Got a lot of Drake, a lot of Wayne, Cordier, one of my favorites actually. It's not big in the locker room, but I like Cordier.
All right.
More of like he's more like J. Cole.
Yes.
Right? Like to me, more of a storyteller, lyricist kind of guy. Me, I'm a huge Cole guy. Like J. Cole. Me too. In that scenario, in that like setting, right? Like in that like pump up setting. But other than that, like I play acoustic.
Okay.
So acoustic guitar, yes sir.
Oh, you ever bring it to the locker?
Steve's got a few in there, so I'm usually in the media room playing them. Yeah, especially I've been almost 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, I started in my third year at university. Just needed something to do, and I played a little bit growing up. Like played like a little bit. I didn't play at all, but like I would pick it up here and there. And then uni, I don't know what kind of drove me. Maybe I think I broke up with my ex, like something. I just got motivated. I need to do something. So I started playing guitar and just. It's been, especially last year when we had Drew Wolotarski, right? Like big musician.
Another one.
And Ted too, like rest in peace. He was a huge musician, and that was something that we connected on right away, right? Like big connection from me and Ted and me and Drew as well, right? And I think I was not embarrassed or like nervous to like talk about it before, but I didn't know like the connections that like it's like just like athletics, right? Like so many people are into making music and music itself. So that was just another like avenue opened up for me.
And music connects so many people.
Exactly.
Everyone loves listening to. I know I love listening to live music. So you talk about that, man. That's cool. And you have so many like. Of course, you have your athletic talents, and then you have your musical talents too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, T. I appreciate you taking the time today with us here on Keeping It a Buck. You definitely kept it a buck with us, man, and this was great, and we'll connect again. I appreciate you.
For sure.
All right.
Appreciate you, brother.
You've been listening to Keep It a Buck with Matt Bucknor on the Ticats Audio Network.